the Bruce Pearls, the Ben Howlands, I mean, how much has Slive made it an emphasis, and how much do you think it helps the league?
Well, the league obviously has made a huge priority. Greg Shaheen, who used to run the NCAA tournament, is one of our league consultants on scheduling. Mark Whitworth, who's actually here today, is the associate commissioner for the conference, and his whole job is men's basketball and focus on how we improve men's basketball. So, we've got everybody's obviously highly invested. We've got several really good coaches in the league, and I think the level of competition is going to increase dramatically.
Scott, I apologize if you've been asked this already, but I'm late to the party. Just kind of walk us through the steps of how this process began and how we got to where we are right now.
Well, we made the decision, and right before we made that decision, you start thinking about what do you do next step if you do make the decision. You start surveying the landscape, and as I said earlier, there's Ben Howland's available. How do you not try to pursue that and move on that as quickly as possible? And fortunately, we found a fit. He found a fit. We found a fit. We were able to get it done pretty quick.
Scott, just talk about the group that you've been able to put together. As an athletic group yourself, Luke Schaefer and Van Steuben and now Ben Howland. What's that say about where the university is going? That it just seems like everything's kind of leveling out and that everything's at a high level now.
Yeah, we've got great stable coaches, and they're all, in addition to being really good coaches, they're good people, and they're competitive. And I'm a big believer. There's an old saying that teams take on the personality of their head coach. I really think coaches attract young people who fit their personality, and that's why it's important to get competitive people, because they're going to end up attracting really competitive athletes, and I think you see that trend, that thread running through all of our coaches.
How's that group of coaches able to help you when you're trying to sell the university? I know John Cohen was a big part of getting Dan Mullen. How's that able to help you in your search?
The best thing those guys can do is go win. And Ben talked about watching our football team. Well, we spent 5 weeks in the number one in the country last year. One of the first things we got in our first conversation, one of the first things he says, "Hey, congratulations on your football success. That's awesome." And so that's something that has raised the understanding of what can be accomplished here at Mississippi State. And the more teams that win, the more that elevates everybody.
How much did you guys talk about the last couple of years at UCLA? There were some problems, I guess, that have been pretty well documented.
Yeah, we talked about it. I had a chance to talk to some other people who I really respect and trust in the world of college athletics, and I didn't have a ton of questions. I think for one thing, there's no NCAA issues in his background. I mean, that's the first thing you look at. And so then you look at that article, and I read that article and read it again and asked a lot of people about it. It looked to me like a guy in a 19-year career had a team that kind of had some issues, and he rectified that to where 2 years later they won their league and won 25 games. And he'll tell you, hey, I made some mistakes with that group, and I learned some things, and I believe him when he says his best coaching days are ahead of him.